SoulDisco Exclusive. Unheard, unreleased, untold stories behind the music. Now on SoulDisco.de.
Welcome everybody to our special Soul Disco. This week we are featuring Valerie Holiday, who celebrated her 50th anniversary in music business. She's also part of one of the leading groups in soul music. She's also known, or the group is also known as the Leading Ladies of Soul, the 3 Degrees. Thank you for joining us, Valerie.
My pleasure. And by the way, it is now 54 years.
My God, 54 years. Thank you.
Yeah, we will be celebrating as a group our 58th anniversary in a moment.
Are you planning something special?
Oh, we don't know yet. We're trying to wait till the pandemic gets finished so we can go back to regular.
Okay.
And then, you know, maybe think of something special.
That would be a great.
Yeah.
Big party.
Yes. In each country.
I hope so.
Yeah.
So you, first of all, how are you doing? How are you coping with pandemic?
Well, we've never had this much time off. I think the last time it was this long was when we were trying to find a replacement for Sheila. That was, you know, we've not had that much time since then. So I've been trying to maintain some resemblance of not eating the entire refrigerator and all the cookies, and so that when I get ready to put those gowns on, they're still going to fit. And I've been having fun digging out in the dirt, of course. Here in Atlanta, our weather is now to the point where you are planting things, you know, and I love flowers, so I like playing in the dirt. So I've been basically doing that, enjoying my walks. They're getting longer because you need to kill more time. I don't want to sit in front of the TV all day, so. And had time to finish my album.
Good point. You are releasing a new album, I think, on April the 4th.
I'm so excited.
Is this your first real solo album, or did you have albums before?
No, this is my very first complete project, I should say. From we've been working on this for the past 6 years, because it had to slot in between the time when we were off from work. And if vocally, you know, I was up to snuff, then I would go into the studio and do some recording and take that away and listen to it. I wanted to have time to do it the way I wanted to do, because when you're with a company, you've got so many weeks to do albums, you know, they stick you in the studio and you've got this time limit. And sometimes when you record things, you need to be able to listen back to them and find out if you're happy with that, and if you want to do any changing. So I took the opportunity to take each song and kind of live with it for a couple of weeks, listening to it and going away and coming back and listening to it again, thinking about, okay, maybe you should go here instead of there. Because I think when you record songs that belong to other artists, they had the hit with it already, okay? So to me, you need to do something a little different to it. Not make it so that nobody recognizes it again, but to kind of personalize it. So this is kind of what I did with my songs.
So the album, like I said, is called In Bloom, and it's a beautiful cover with a flower on it. So how did you come to the title In Bloom? And you said it that you like flowers. So
there was no question as to what was going to be on the cover, because I didn't want to photograph, you know, because it's like, okay, which one are we going to pick? No, cut the confusion, and let's do something that when it's sitting possibly on a shelf somewhere, it can stand out because it's a bright pink, nice pink color. And so therefore it's not black or, so it's more eye-catching is what I wanted. And because the flower is just one of my favorites, I thought I'd put that. In Bloom is the fact that this is my first. I'm hoping to do more. And I'm going to first add, I'm not leaving the 3 degrees, okay? This is just something that I want to do on the side. An expression of my taste or my love for jazz music, because we are not a jazz group, okay? So therefore this takes me into another genre, which is one of my favorites. And in Bloom, it's like when flowers are slowly opening, it's like we're at the beginning.
So why did you not do some earlier solo albums?
Sorry?
Now, why did you do a solo album now and not years before?
I didn't have time. I did not have time.
Okay.
When our tours are put together, they start sometimes in January, sometimes they start in February, but we usually end up maybe a couple of weeks here. When you go home, you're 3 weeks off here and 2 weeks off there and maybe 4 weeks off there. And in that time frame, I've got to get my costumes, check them, make sure there are no sequins or beads or anything missing, or I need to hem it because now it's too long, it's stretched. I have to do a lot of maintenance, for the group. So that really didn't allow, concentration, because I wanted to be able to concentrate on just on that. I didn't want to have to slot it in between things, which I did anyway. But the listening time, I took my time with it. If it wasn't something that I could concentrate on that moment, then I would put it aside until we come back off tour. And we had at least 3 or 4 weeks vacant that I could, do what I needed to do with my costumes and then have personal time to listen to the recording to see if I wanted to change or if I was happy with the way it was. So I really didn't have the opportunity to devote what I needed, in order to put this forward the way I wanted to. And us having this entire year off, it was easy. It made it a lot easier.
Okay, so your new album includes, I think, 7 songs.
Mm-hmm. I say mostly standards because I love those.
Yeah, I was when I've heard that you are going to make a solo album. Honestly, I was expecting something similar you did with the group in all those years, and I was totally surprised to hear that side of you. And that totally catch me. I think the first snippet you released for the public was the song "What Are You Doing?"
Yes, because I did a recording of that. I think we had a live TV show, BBC, and that was my solo song. I've always loved the song, so I thought, okay, I've got to include that.
Absolutely. So the first one is "All I Do."
Yes.
Why "All I Do"?
It's a very whimsical song to me. When you first fall in love with someone, it's like, they're constantly on your mind. I wanted the album to be on an intimate feel. And I wanted you to be able to listen to it and for it to kind of take you through the different stages or the different things that you go through in a relationship. And all I do is think of you. It was like, okay, that has to be first. Because when you first meet somebody, you're thinking about them all the time. And, so that kind of was the reasoning behind the first one.
Great. The next one is a classic, "Just the Way You Are."
Well, that kind of speaks for itself. In this business, it's sometimes difficult to find a mate because you don't know whether they like you because you're one of the 3 degrees, or if they really like you because of you. Whether you can't, sometimes it's difficult to decipher, to figure out, whether they're just in love with that stage person. And when you get down to those personal moments, they're very important. And when you meet people, to me in a relationship, the object is not to change who the other person is. That supposedly is what drew you to them, their personality. Now, we all have issues in relationships. And so, yeah, we have arguments and we go through whatever, you know, but the idea is not to try to change what somebody else is to make them what you think they should be. It's to accept them as they are, because they're supposed to be accepting you as you are. So it's like, you know, I don't, my husband, I think I recorded that just kind of for him, because I love the person that he is, and I wouldn't change a thing about him.
That's the most.
We argue about a lot of stuff, but you know, that's life.
Yeah, and that makes it exciting on the other part, you know.
Otherwise, I guess it's boring, huh?
So I totally understand that. So that's the most beautiful explanation I've ever got for that song. So thank you very much. Here's to Life.
Oh, Shirley Horn. I asked an arranger friend of mine, he did all of our musical arrangements for stage, to try to think of something that I could put on the album, because I wanted to, you know, get input from other people if I could for ideas. And when he called me and said, I've got the perfect song for you, I want you to listen to this and tell me what you think. Well, when I listened to it, I was blown away. I thought, no, this is definitely a keeper. And what was so funny about it is when I decided to add it to the album, no one at that particular time had done a release on it. And of course, by the time now I've got the album out, there's like several versions of it out there. But I thought, okay, I still like mine. So that was a song that I just fell in love with.
And it's beautiful. We can hear the snippets for the album. You put the links to that online, so everybody can make their impression about it, and it's absolutely.
And on the 4th, you get your whole download. You get to hear the whole thing.
Absolutely. So
yeah.
There's another one. One Good Reason.
Kenny Gamble and Leon Huff, as writers and musicians, they've always been phenomenal to me. And I've always wanted to record one of their songs. Phyllis Hyman, she's on that stage up there with Shirley Horn to me, because of the type of music that they do, the emotion, the feel, everything. And when I played this song, I thought, you know, I didn't necessarily want it to be R&B. I wanted it to be jazz. So when I sat down with my arranger and we got it together, I was quite happy with the way that it turned out.
How do you keep the music playing? How
do you indeed? How do you? Yes. In a relationship, that to me is a constant battle, because you're never the same every day. Every day you're different. Every day you have different situations, different moods. So it's like in a relationship, in order to keep it, as they say, fresh and you know, interesting, you have to learn how to do different things. You have to learn how to go different places, create things that you know, keep the romance alive, you know. And that is another one that was one of my very favorite standards. So I thought, okay, we've got to put this on there.
The next one is a classic, Under My Skin.
When somebody told me what the actual meaning of that song was, I fell out. I said, okay, so you would never guess that just from listening to the song. And I'm not going to explain it, but I thought about it because it's like in a relationship, when you really love someone, they are truly under your skin. No matter what they do, what they, you know, what happens around, they're there. you know, and it's like you're under my skin because I can't live without you. I wake up every day. I'm very happy that I have you. So, you know, that's what that one was for me. I had fun recording that one. My producer kept telling me, okay, you're getting too theatrical with it. Pull it back, pull it. So it was fun. It was fun.
And the last song we talked about in the beginning was What Are You Doing?
Mm-hmm.
It's my favorite on the whole album, I have to say.
Yes, because I think that's probably one of the things when you meet that special somebody, that is what you ask them, because that is what you need to know.
I was scrolling down your Facebook page, and you have a secret I didn't know of, and you put a link to a track online, I think a few days ago, and I clicked it, and I was expecting to hear a very soulful, slow version. And once the song was done, I was like, what the hell just hit me? It was a song, Who Is She? And
Who is she? What is she to you?
I
Yes.
was blown away. I was actually blown away, and I do hope that you're going to release a whole album about it, because once the song was done, the next thing I was thinking about, what about the song If Loving You is Wrong, I Don't Want to Be Right? This would be perfect fitting into it, and she should be making an album called Soul Reloaded by Valerie Holiday.
Oh my goodness, that's a good title. That's a good title.
I saw it in front of me, and I would say I'll buy 10.
A funny thing, I recorded that song. Gosh, we as a group, 3 Degrees, did a recording when we were on Roulette, and it blew my mind then, and it has always been one of my favorites. So we were in the studio, you know, fooling around, and I said, you know, let's try to do something with this. So my arranger put the track down. I told him, I said, you know, that's a really hot track. That track is really nice. So it was really easy to put the vocals on, and I enjoyed doing that. So I love that.
I do hope that you're doing more of this, because it was like, this is a side I haven't expected from you.
There you go.
There's the jazzy, there's the soulful, and now she's the dance disco queen. You know, this is going to be played in the clubs. I'll bet with you. That's going.
I hope so. I hope so. I've gotten a lot of reaction from it, so it's kind of encouraging that, yeah, I think we do need to release that. And there's one more that I had put out called Want It, Got to Have It. So we're kind of collecting things that we've done and kind of putting them together. Yeah,
like I said, I was blown away. I played it to a friend who's working in a radio station, and he was like, "You're kidding? She's from 3 Degrees? I thought that she was a house disco queen singer," and he was totally blown away. And he said, if she's releasing it and the whole album of it, just let me know. And so I absolutely will, because
that's perfect. Perfect.
It's a great song. So when are you going to go on tour again with the group? There are some dates.
Fingers are crossed, and we're hoping it will be this year sometime. Everybody's getting their COVID injections, but a couple of the countries are going back into lockdown. So it's like you really need to kind of wait and see what's going on, because we don't necessarily work within the United States. So we need to find out if the territories that we are going to be performing in are, you know, good and safe, because we don't want to come out too soon either. We don't want a bunch of people sitting in the concert halls when you shouldn't really be there. So we want everything to be back to as good as it can be before we kind of, you know, go ahead and start scheduling dates. Some of the theaters have already started to put out flyers and everything, and so the fans are posting, okay, when's the show? I got my ticket. I'm thinking, oh, sweetie, okay, I'm glad you got your ticket, because perhaps when they do go on sale, I don't know, maybe there won't be enough of them left. Fingers crossed. But, you know, we're hoping that it's all going to come out good, and we'll be able to go back out sometime this year.
So will you include some solo tracks in the show?
No. What? No.
No.
Somebody did ask me that. Oh, you're gonna put a couple. No, sweetie. I told them I'm so sorry, but the only way that you're going to see Miss Holiday perform solo is Miss Holiday performing solo. Because when we are on the stage, the three of us, that is the group. That's the 3 degrees. I wouldn't even think of putting something that's just, you know, mine in there. If we were doing, all 3 of us were doing solos, okay, you know, but I still wouldn't include anything from my album. I want to save that for my own personal show.
So are you going to tour then also in countries?
Who, me?
Yes, as a solo.
You know, this is early stage and I don't know. If I'm fortunate enough to have an audience large enough to do that with, I would be absolutely over the moon. I would love to. I would very much love to, because there are a lot of things that I would like to do on stage as a solo artist. So I'm kind of hoping this is an opening door, and in the future we can look forward to that.
We got some questions from readers in. The first question, and there were quite a few people who were asking this, but you already answered it. Are the 3 degrees now splitting up while she was doing a solo record?
No, no, because see, this is to me kind of like a Phil Collins situation. He didn't leave Genesis when he recorded all those albums. He did his thing, and he did the thing with them too. And this is what I would like to do. I don't want to leave, because I enjoy what we do. I enjoy what Helen and Freddie and I do on stage. I enjoy that very much. So I wouldn't change that. I wouldn't change that. I am into an entirely different genre when I do me.
Do you know if there are any unreleased songs from your Philadelphia years?
I don't believe there are. No, because we would have loved to have stayed with them a bit longer, but no, I think we released everything that we had recorded with them.
Okay. What's your favorite song from all the songs you ever recorded?
Oh, that is so hard. Whenever anybody asks that question, that is so hard, because I like just about everything. There are a couple of few things on there that we call them album fillers that they're kind of, it's okay. But the majority, gosh, When Will I See You Again, I think will always be at the top of the list, because you're constantly moving, you're constantly saying goodbye, and you're thinking about people and hoping, you know, that everything is good and okay with them. So I think When Will I See You Again.
I've heard a story, I don't know if it's true, that in the beginning the 3 degrees didn't want to record that song because it was too easy. I don't know if that's
No, it wasn't that we didn't record it. We didn't know that it was #1 material. We thought, oh, that's a nice ballad. That'll fit nice. That's a nice album filler. Yeah, because at the time we were 19, 20, you know, we really didn't have the knowledge of picking out a song that was going to eventually turn into a hit. But the material that we were given by Gamble and Huff was always, you know, good and exciting to do. So we thought, okay, they know what to do with this. They can hear what is going to happen. So what we need to do is just get in there and give it the best that we've got.
Yeah, there was also a question you already answered. Why did the group leave Philadelphia International?
That was our manager's, Richard Barrett's, decision. And we never had the opportunity to ask why. At that time, we were told to do what we were supposed to do, which was sing and perform and make the audience happy and leave the business to him. Those times were when managers were, you know, yeah, a lot of artists from that time period had manager issues. And that was the reason for our departure from Philadelphia International.
Yeah, you always hear the stories like when I signed a contract, I just got from college and I wasn't having the knowledge and didn't know that the contracts were in the best interest for management and record company, but not for me.
Absolutely. The artists were very, very seldom considered. Even when you wrote the material and did everything that was to produce it, you still didn't have the rights to it. So, you know.
Did that happen to the 3 Degrees?
No, because Sheila was the one who was the writer. And I do believe by the time she started doing that, we knew what we needed to do in order to project ourselves.
And there was another question about the cover of this album you're quite familiar with.
No, you don't have to open it.
I'm not open the inside, I promise.
Yes.
But I see. Okay, under this lighting, I totally see. This cover is very different from the covers you did after that. So you was a special background to that cover picture?
The one that you're seeing here was when we were working with a designer. She was our very first in New York, and they came up with that concept.
Okay, so it's quite nice dresses and everything. You all great on it. So.
And the inside cover, we were told by the photographer and everybody else, because if you've seen other photographs, there's a red chiffon piece. That's it. That goes over that bodysuit. So you don't see all the bits and pieces. And plus you have on undergarments. So they said, okay, we want a nice picture. So if we can just ask you to do this, we promise, you know, we'll airbrush it and it'll be perfect when you see it. Well, when it finally came out and the parents saw it, and it was like, oh my goodness. I was like,
I'll open it up a little bit for everybody who wants to have a closer look needs to buy the rest.
Yeah, there you go.
Buy the stuff. So that's the questions so far. There was an opera singer. She's sometimes making videos on YouTube, and she analyzed the 3 Degrees. I don't know if you know the video of her. And she was going through certain songs and was explaining it very well. And she was like, their voices, they fill in the room and they match perfectly.
I saw that.
And I was watching her like, she's so right. And she could put in words what many people feel when they hear your music.
I was blown away by it, because to hear her explain it was like, wow, she got it. She absolutely got it. When I put to the Who Is She on the page, one of the comments that I got on it was that they enjoyed the energy and they liked that answer and call repeat when the background kind of answers the lead. We like kind of doing things.
Talking like this and how you made that move out of it and the sound. And she was like, oh, hear the bass line. No, stop it. And she repeated, and now hear the bass line. And I was like,
yes,
oh,
it's very important. Very important. Very important.
She pointed out how much work you as an artist need to put in each and every song to make it sound that way.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
It's not that you're going into the studio, okay, here are your lyric sheets, here's the music, go ahead. So making this possible.
It takes thought and lots of, like I said, when you record it, you need to go away and listen to it. And sometimes we don't have that opportunity to do that. So you got to give it your all that first time out. So you listen to it, you do what you're going to do to it, and then you go and put it down on recording.
A final message for your fans.
I'm hoping that we will all get over this COVID thing and we can all go back to and being in one place, enjoying music together, a live show. We're very much looking forward to that. And I'm hoping that once you hear my album and you've had chance to kind of groove with it, that it will also become something that you will love as much as I loved putting it together.
I'll put the link to the website where people can.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I
want to tell everybody that the solo project is just that. It's as I put it on another piece, it's just another side of me. I'm not leaving. It's just a different side of me.
There'll be people were like, oh my God, is this now the next Yoko Ono thing? What's happening?
No. We want to stop. We want to stop that before it even becomes a thought or a rumor or anything else. No, I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving the 3 degrees.
Valerie, thank you so much for taking the time to do this and for
It was my pleasure.
all the questions, and you made my week.
Perfect.
So for everybody, on April the 4th, finally the album is out. I can hardly wait to hear the full tracks. Get it, download it. You can hear it on any device and have fun with it.
Yes, and hopefully, I'm thinking June, there'll be a CD.
How can I, as a fan, get a signed CD? I'm sure people will. The next question that comes up from the fans when they hear it's a CD. Next question, I'll bet with you, how can I get a signed copy?
We were thinking about that, and initially the thought was, okay, I tell you what, we'll just take a box and just sign them. So that way, when someone buys one, it's just a matter of it's already autographed. So possibly that might happen, or you may just have to wait until we physically, you got it. Now, that's one thing I would do. If you came to a 3 Degree show and you've got my CD in hand, I would definitely sign it for you.
So everybody buy the CD to make sure you get the autograph and get them. I can buy the CD in concert as well, right? If you're doing the concert.
When I start doing the concerts, yeah.
So.
In the meantime, you'll have to stick to ordering it online.
Are you planning to put that also out on a vinyl?
Yes. Yes.
Because you know, vinyl is great because you have the big picture.
The picture, yeah. And I know a lot of my friends are they want the CD and they want an album. They already told me they wanted a CD and they want an album. I thought, okay, I was okay with the CD because I've already formulated that in mind. So now with the album, we're going to have to get a bit more creative.
So maybe if the vinyl release is out, you could put on a bonus track.
Yes. I am so very, very, very proud of my musos on my album. There were, I think it's one song that I didn't put a vocal to. That I think we're going to, when we put the album out, we've got a couple of other things that we want to add to. So the album may be a bit longer than the CD is.
Oh, you just made my day. Vinyl and Valerie is a good combination.
There you go.
Okay, Valerie, thank you again for taking the time for joining us.
It was my pleasure. You have a blessed afternoon because it's late where you are. And now that the sun has finally come out, because our weather over here today was really bad, I'm gonna go and get ready for a nice long walk.
Okay, have fun with it and take care, and please stay safe and healthy.
You too, and God bless.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.